I'm so sorry. Please come back.
Last time I did like an everyday makeup routine was about a year ago. And for like beauty gurus, your makeup routine changes every single day. So a lot has changed, not so much, but some things. I have some new techniques and stuff, so we're gonna do that today. So I'm gonna take my trusty essentially Enriched moisturizer from Nivea. Gotta buy some more of this stuff. This makes my skin feel so great. Now that we're moisturized, I'm gonna moisturize my lips using some chapstick. Just make sure to get a good amount all over the lip so that your lips are moisturized and prepped for whatever lip combination you're gonna put on. And for primer, you guys know I'm gonna use my trusty, the Porefessional. This really helps with minimizing your pores. And some people are like, whoa, it comes out like yellow. And I was like, no, that's not my skin tone. I've seen, believe it or not, I've had a lot of people ask me that, like, no, it's not my color. Like, obviously that's not my color. But what did I put on my palm? It blurs into your skin for like what it says. It's supposed to blur your pores. So, and I'm just massaging it in with my fingertips. If you're not a huge fan of using your fingers on your face, you could go ahead and use like a thin foundation brush to apply that. I'm gonna take a little bit more because it looks kind of scary. Mattified our face with that primer. I want some of that dewy feel back. So I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Aqua Primer Mist, and this is going to help to basically give me that glow from within, but we're using this to do it. And it just helps to like rejuvenate the skin. So I'm just gonna do it from afar, up here. So good when I spray it on. It feels like you're like feeling something new and like, I don't know. I'm going to do my brows off camera. I did do my brows in the previous video. Changed my brow routine in a really long time. So just go check that out. I'll put the link to that video below if you guys want to see that video on how to do my brows. But I really want to focus on the face part and making sure that I give you guys a really good explanation, and instead of wasting so much time on the brows, because brows take a very long time. So if you really want to see the brows, just click that video down below and you'll see how I do my brows. Okay, so now that brows are on and in full force, I'm gonna go ahead and go into foundation since my face is prepped. So the most important thing when it comes to your makeup is having a very good base, because the base is what makes everything else look flawless. So as you saw, I put on lotion, I put on primer, and to give me that kind of look that I was desiring of a dewy look, I did that setting spray just to give my skin a very good base so that my makeup lasts long and looks very nice all day. So yeah, I used three things, and the three things was moisturizer, primer, and the setting spray to just lock it into place. And now we're ready for that nice base. So I'm gonna go into the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. This is like my favorite foundation now of all time. I actually debuted this foundation on my channel before. I believe it was the first impressions video for the prom makeup, and it turned out beautiful and I love it. So yeah, let me stop talking and actually do it. So what I found best for makeup application, I've tried it all, trust me, I've tried it all, but I like taking a foundation brush and just taking some of the foundation and pouring it on there, and then applying a nice amount all over the face, and then I blend it in with my beauty sponge. This foundation brush is from Wet n Wild's. You guys can get a foundation brush literally wherever. So what I do is that I apply a nice amount all over my face. That's good for that side, and then I go in with a little bit more, and I put a little on my chin. Just make sure that all areas of my face are covered. And remember, when you take the sponge, it's gonna blend it out, so don't put too much that you look super cakey. And what I do next, I take my sponge, and remember, it is damp with water, and I squeeze out all the water because it substitutes the like whatever other products you're using on your face from getting absorbed. If you use it dry, it's gonna soak up all the foundation you're about to blend. So I soaked it with water so it doesn't soak up the foundation. So I take the butt end and I start blending it out. I'm just using tapping motions, not swiping, just tapping it into the skin. And I feel like this helps to give a more like dewy effect. What do I think with my eye? With using like a foundation brush, which is perfectly fine. I just feel like it takes a little bit away of the dewiness. I don't know. I just like, I guess because the sponge is wet, I don't know, I just love the application of anything using a sponge. That foundation is on and prepped. I'm gonna go in super big brush. It's huge. It's just this round top foundation brush. And what I do with it, I wouldn't recommend this one because I don't know if you guys can see, it literally sheds. I could pull it out. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tap the foundation into place. Just helps to lock and secure it. Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Deep, and the purpose of concealer is just to brighten up the face. As you can see with just foundation itself, my face is very flat. It doesn't have like dimension to it, so that's what we're gonna do by adding highlight and contour. Sponge, I'm telling you guys, this sponge is so versatile. Please invest in a good sponge. A lot of people I know use these super hard sponges from like the dollar store or like a beauty supply store, and basically it's better to just use your fingers to blend it out because those sponges are so hard and they absorb all the product. You put the product on your face and then remove it again with that sponge. They're terrible. I understand that some people can't like afford beauty blenders that are like 20 bucks for a small sponge, but this sponge is from Real Techniques. I've been using it for years. I've never used a beauty blender in my life. I will never go back because I love this thing, and it's only $5. And in Ulta they have a sale that you could get like 2 in a pack for like 8 bucks, which is amazing. So, and these sponges last a very long time. Beauty blenders tend to be pretty soft, and like you see with my nails, I would be breaking into the sponge. As you can see, these are impossible to break into. I like to put a little bit right underneath my contour because it helps to give that natural contour. What? That made no sense. I like to put a little bit under my cheekbone because it helps to give me that natural contour. So you see this side, and look at this side. This side, and this side. I use this technique of pressing the sponge together to make it thin. Could also, when I run it alongside the bridge of my nose, it helps to give my nose that natural contour without using any product. If you're a person who doesn't want to use too many products on the face, doing that technique will really help you out. A little bit of my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Mahogany, and this is just going to help me contour. I put this on my, although I have that natural contour, I want, you know, it more deep in, so I'm going to put a little bit right there because this is super dark, and a little bit goes a long way with this stuff. So I'm just putting it there, and then the same technique with the sponge again. You see how versatile this is? I use this to apply my concealer, my foundation, my contour, and I'm going to use this to apply my bake. So I pinch it again, and I go into my cheekbone left on the sponge, and I follow it along the side of my jaw to help give me a smaller jaw. To baking, I just give my container a little shake. Then I take that same sponge and I dip it in like that. So you get an amount like that. And you see how I blew it off? That's just to help to give an even layer of the powder all over the sponge. So when you apply it, you don't have places that are super baked and like clumpy and other places not so baked. So I'm gonna pat into my skin. Yeah, a little bit right underneath my contour because it helps to clean up wherever I might have worn over the contour with the dark part, with the dark concealer. It's just helping to give it that clean look. If you're the type that's very, very, very oily, I would suggest baking your whole face. So doing this part, but putting a little bit on the forehead. See, I'll put a little bit just to avoid that shiny stuff. Now while I let that sit, I'm going to finish up the rest of my face. So I'm going to go in. Set my contour. A lot of people have been asking me lately, do I prefer contour, powder contour or cream contour? I like both of them. I personally use both because I feel like I first put the cream contour, as you guys saw with the LA Girl, but I set it with powder because it'll just help to set it and make it last all day. So I use both. I don't just use one. Jellard. Hello?
Jude.
Hey, are you dying?
No, just a couple of months.
Oh, what's up?
I wanted to see if you want to come with us.
And now it's time to wipe away the bake. And I'm going to take my Microsoft Beauty F200 brush. And I'm dusting away that bake. And I'm ever so slightly touching my face because I don't want to rub off anything too hard into the skin. Custom enhancer drops from Cover FX in Candlelight, and it comes out like that, like a liquid. And what I do is that I start patting it where my highlight is supposed to go. This is just creating like a base for my highlight, just so that it helps to make it last longer, one, and it helps to amplify it a little bit more. It's a Sundipped palette, and I'm gonna take a little bit of bronzed, and it's my favorite shade in the palette, which is this one right here. And I just lightly apply it because this is gonna, my highlight gonna be too much for people. I'm gonna be like, whoa, what's going on in her face? Everyday makeup look. I take my Maybelline Shine Shot, and it's just a gloss. And I'm going to apply that all over the lip. Gonna help set everything and lock it into place, and it's gonna give me that more dewy look for my makeup, and it's gonna take away that powdery look. I'm just gonna once that settles into the skin, we're done.